Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Donna. My channel's Donna Designs. Glad to have you here today. Welcome. I just received a new issue of Daphnes Diary. It's number 2 of 2025, and I thought I'd come on and share it with you. For those of you that are not familiar with Daphnes Diary, it's a beautiful magazine publication that I personally got a yearly subscription to. There's still certain locations, I believe, that you can just buy single issues as you like them. But I just find it's easier and nicer, especially when it's gifted to me from my husband, to get a yearly subscription. As a matter of fact, he originally did it for Mother's Day and he signed me up again. So I'm really excited. So as always, her front pages are beautiful. Look at this gorgeous girl. She's got this cupcake. Looks like she's ready and dressed pretty for Easter with this pretty background. So let's open it up and see. We have, usually her opening pages are pretty with some kind of flowers or some pretty picture to look at. And this one is no different with this gorgeous little cottage and all these pretty flowers. And she's talking about March and how we have to look forward towards spring, which I know we all are. Usually she opens up with her table of contents, so by looking at the pictures, you have a pretty good idea of what you might find inside. And here it looks like she's talking about Easter decorations. We got these pretty daisies. She tells you the things you'll need to create the project. And it looks like she made some pretty flowered Easter eggs. What you'll find with Daphnes Diary is lots of inspiration. She puts in recipes. She puts in a poster every time. Just lots of pretty things to look at. She talks about traveling. So there's all kinds of different things. Here she's talking about a pretty candle holder she made out of an egg crate. And we've got some pretty flowers in the background. And she's showing this pretty wreath that she made. And we've got some bunnies up here. So she's sharing some ideas of things that she's made. She's calling these flower lollies. It's a real treat and they're easy to make. Wouldn't those be sweet? Not sure how she made those. I'll have to read on that. And she made edible flowers. And as I said, all the projects that she shares, she gives you instructions on how to do it. And here it's pick your own. It looks like this woman's got a beautiful garden someplace. That pretty bouquet of flowers, and she's enjoying her cup of tea. Looks like maybe perhaps she's got a tulip farm or other flowers going here. How pretty is that? In order to have a greenhouse. As I said, she talks about traveling, and here we've got some interesting facts and pictures about Hungary. And here she's talking about weaving and showing us an example of it and what to do. And she gets into a full explanation about that. Here she's talking about little helpers out in the garden with bees, butterflies, dragonflies, and how they play an important role in our garden. Here she enclosed, sometimes she puts in these cutouts, paper things that you can put together. This is a sweet one. I always thought it'd be fun to take all the ones she included and make like a little village or town. And then here it looks like she's got special designs to make egg cups for Easter. And she's got a few more styles with the egg cups. She always puts in pretty pattern papers, which she's got one over here. And another pretty paper here. And here's some clues on how Mother makes the windows sparkle. Some hacks on how to do that. And she shows the woman doing it. Here she's just describing the different issues of Daphne and how you can subscribe for subscription. Here we're talking about a trip in Paris, and she's got some pretty pictures for us to look at and some facts. More information about Paris and pretty crystal and information about traveling. I would love to go to Paris one day. Here she's talking about Belgium and a woman out in the garden, pretty cottage, and some facts about Belgium. And here she continues talking about a little bit more about Belgium. Look at a beautiful garden. And here she's showing the inside, how she decorated a pretty bedroom, which if you're into shabby chic, which I am, this is very pretty. Suffering from hay fever, she gives you some hints how to help with that. And then she usually puts in the game, can you spot the differences? This one will be a fun one to do. She usually puts in different styles of washi tape. She's always putting in a poem. This is really pretty, the way it's decorated with the butterfly. I'm sure it's probably, well, actually it's about friends in the garden. Here she's showing you some crafty projects. These sweet little bunnies and how to do it. Like I say, with her projects, she gives really good instructions on how to do it. This is like talking about boho style, which is natural living and natural dressing. And she just shows us examples of boho decorating and how someone may dress for boho style. She's got a recipe here for carrot cupcakes, talking about different summer flowers that bloom. Very pretty. Talking about Dorbury, another place, another wonderful destination to visit. And she shows us photos and shares some facts. This looks like she's talking about something in Amsterdam, whether it's somebody's house or in a shop. But she's showing us pretty different things that we can look at. Very pretty. She's got this pretty hutch all decorated nicely. This looks like an artist that she's sharing with us some of the paintings that she has painted. I always like looking at other people's work and what artists can do, and it's amazing what people can do. Then she made these pretty paper flowers, and again, she gives you instructions on how to make those. She's talking about pearls and some information about those. She just put in this little poster that says Happy Easter with a pretty picture on it. She's talking a little bit about Easter table inspiration and perhaps some ideas that you can do for your table. We've got this really pretty Easter cake, and she gives you the recipe on how to make it. Ice cream cone. I don't know why this book keeps getting stuck. Ice cream cone with bunny ears. How sweet is that? And she gives you instructions on how to do that as well. She's talking about a garden that you can go, garden center that you can go and visit, and the pretty things that you'll find inside. Isn't that wonderful? It's called Kew Gardens. Just trying to see where it might be. Goes back to the Victorian era. It's located, I guess, in London. Wow, I wish I could go there. That would be fun. She shows this pretty little sprig that she decorated cute with Easter eggs, and she's saying, which egg did Uncle Bernie decorate? So she gives you clues, and you have to figure that out. This looks like just old-fashioned vintage style equipment and different things like typewriters, washing machine, a telephone. Here she's talking about the vegetable garden and giving you some hints about that. And stenciling with plaster and examples of that. Looks like she did some letters. Here she talks about creating or embossing paper. So she made a pretty envelope, and she gives you the step-by-step instructions on how to do that as well. She's got scents to happiness, different scents that you can put together. She gives you the recipes on how to do that. Here she's talking about different types of birds. Pretty page. talking about the different kinds of cooks there are. Who knew that? There's the purist, the creator, the provisioner. That seems interesting. The James Cook, the fit foodie, and the minimalist. Who knew? Now we're talking about taking a walk and things that you can do, spot, hear, feel. So going on a hike, beautiful picture. Around the world on your plate, talking about different recipes. She's got these two on this page. This one in Japan. I guess both of them are in Japan. And we're talking about frittatas and recipes from Italy, and those all look delicious. She's got some more recipes on this side, which look like from Spain and India. She's talking about dreams, sharing that with us. Some information about nightmares and dreams and what they might mean. This is just a page, an article that she wrote in her diary. And as I said earlier, she encloses nice recipes. We've got the smoked salmon salad. Doesn't that look delicious? And we've got an egg nest, which would be nice for an Easter brunch. Then we have this pretty cutout. Isn't that gorgeous? With the perfume bottles and the pretty flowers and the fan. That's something that I would probably like to frame and use. Here's another pretty paper. She's got some blank Easter eggs that you can color in and some flowers. This is Home with Harriet. I'm sure she's another artist, and she's talking about what she does, perhaps decorating her place. She shows different pictures. These are just posts that friends of Daphne sends into the magazine that she posts. This is talking about the croissant. I'm sure it's about the history and some facts. She's talking about the history of Bayer aspirin. We've got bunny napkins, and she shows us how to make those. Those would be super cute for Easter. Talking about a Swedish barn. Shows us some more pictures on this side. Shows us lots of barn pictures. She has another little poem here. She's got cake toppers. If you're into hot air balloons, there you go. But certainly you can use that for crafting as well. Looks very vintage. And they can be cut out. And she's got several pages of those. And then, like I mentioned, she always puts in a poster. So let's take a look at this month's poster. Wow. Isn't this one sweet? I absolutely love it. Look at that sweet little mouse, the hot air balloon. The girl's just having a beautiful ride on her bike with all the pretty, beautiful flowers. I think I'll definitely be probably framing that one and putting it in my craft room. And we have another traveling discussion about Portugal and some pretty images. And she goes in further and shows you some more images and pictures. Very nice. And showing you things you can do with empty egg cartons. How cute. Feed the bird. Use it for paints. She's got this one all decorated. And some flowers. How pretty is that? Great ideas. Talking about bringing spring into your home, different steps you can take. Another pretty paper, some more pretty papers. These look like maybe bows, or maybe they're to wrap around eggs. I'm not really sure. And then she talks about different books to check out, and maybe perhaps you would enjoy reading. And then lastly, she just talks about if you want to order Daphnes Diary, the address and all that. And she always does her back pages really pretty, as she did on this back page as well. So that's it for this issue, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you have a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye now.